So I love getting fan mail as much as the next YouTuber, but some of this fan mail I get is pretty ridiculous. And whoever sent me this, I think you sent this to the wrong person. But this is what I got in the mail today. I'm not quite sure how I'm supposed to feel about this. I definitely think they sent this to the wrong person, but I think this is appropriate, if you know what I mean. So you want to be a sponsored Yu-Gi-Oh player? Let's visit my hole in the wall for some great information on today's topic. Okay, so you think it's your God-given right to be a sponsored Yu-Gi-Oh player, and this is all we have to say. I recently got this in the mail, and it is really doing the job today. I really hope the person that this was supposed to go to isn't really missing it, because it goes so great here. So, Yu-Gi-Oh's not fucking an esports game. The fuck do you mean? Yu-Gi-Oh's not going to be an esports game. You know, we're not Pokemon. We're not handing out 25 grand every fucking event. You know, we're not Magic the Gathering. We don't have good prize support. We have mediocre prize cards, and we play this game because we like the fact that it is Yu-Gi-Oh. And there are a few players out there that are quote-unquote sponsored. I'm sponsored because of my YouTube channel. You know, I get product to open and showcase for you guys, and it's great advertising exchanges for the people I work with. You know, that's what I offer them. Now, are you really good advertising if you're a Yu-Gi-Oh player? Sure. Alright? Biggest bunny ears ever. Alright? So, you go around, we'll use Gem for example. You know, if you're a player sponsored by Gem Playmats, you go around and you play on your Gem Playmat. But you would only want players that continuously go to events and do well. That way, when you're at those top tables and they say, oh, hey, you're playing on a Gem Playmat, they associate that with you. You know, same thing with No Limit Gaming. You know, with me, you guys see me wear my NLG shirt every event. You know, blue breast pocket, the whole fucking 6 yards, because there is that associative property with me and them. Now, there are Yu-Gi-Oh teams out there, and the biggest thing that I've seen from teams is some players have benefits, some players are just, they get a free hoodie to be on the team, and it is what it is. And that's, to be completely honest with you guys, you know, you're supporting the name brand. You know, if you're there, they're giving you stuff in some shape or capacity to either be on their team or to be a quote-unquote sponsored player. And I'm pretty sure with PPG, you know, Jobber, you know, there's some reward and benefits to being on those teams. You know, Card Guys even. You know, you even have CCG over in Europe. You know, Complexity Card Games. You know, all of these teams have some sort of rewards. But how do you go about getting onto those teams? You don't fucking do this. You don't take L's. Alright? It's pretty straightforward. You want to be a good Yu-Gi-Oh player? You need to put time, effort, dedication into it. You're not going to get fucking handed this shit. That's what this is. The more time that you don't put into getting better at this game, then you cannot ask people for these things. Number 2, there's a difference between supporting a local shop and being a part of a bigger cog in the machine. That means if your locals is sending you to regionals, I've heard some very good stories about this. They'll give you a shirt to wear, they'll pay for your regional entry to support them. Now, that is pretty goddamn good. You know, that's a fair turnaround. You know, you wear their shirt, you promote them at your local regional. You know, not only do you get a shirt, you get $20 to play. You know, it covers your regional entry. Of course, you have to pay for your gas and your food. That's fine and dandy. That's more than anyone could have ever asked for. You know, free $20 just to support your locals. Good advertising, free shirt. That's fine. But you can't be doing this. You know, some locals will let you do this. Some locals will let you take infinites of these, as long as you're there supporting them. Now, if you're on a bigger team, you know, can't be doing this. You know, PPG has an A team and a B team. For a prime example, A team is for those that are not doing this. You know, there could even be a C team that just takes all of these on PPG. You know, I'm not really sure. You know, someone asked me to make a video talking about sponsorship and players, and they're like, how do you get onto these teams? It's about who you know. It's about being good at the game. You know, there's been the joke that after a Yu-Gi-Oh player wins the event, if they're not on a team, you know, PPG slips them a contract underneath the bathroom stall. You know, you in there taking a dump after your win. You know, George is in the next stall. He's like, "Want to be on our team?" You know, we've all heard this joke. You know, that's the things that go on in this community that people find hilarious. But, you know, to be completely honest, you know, if you're a consistent Yu-Gi-Oh player, then someone or something will reach out to you. You know, you can't just show up, win one event, and disappear. It's not good. You know, you've got to be capable of advertising. You have to be willing to travel. You know, these teams, these sponsors, they dedicate money to you, but you can't do these things without putting some of your own money up as well. You know, there's very, very few players out there that are graciously sponsored. They have all of their cards handed to them. Don't think they don't exist, because they do. I've heard some great stories. People's local shops let them borrow all of the cards that they need for their regional deck. That's fucking phenomenal. That is another excellent sponsorship right there. Or, you know, if they're just lending you the stuff, that's fine. That shows that you have a good working relationship with your shop, and they're willing to do that for you. Not everyone has that. So, the first thing that I'm going to tell you, as has been the theme of this video, you can't do this. You, literally, in the exact words of every Yu-Gi-Oh player, you have to get good. And I can't sugarcoat it for you, because so many players are going to be angry with being slapped into the reality of, if you, for some reason, think that you're going to get a sponsorship in Yu-Gi-Oh for being bad, you gotta grow a YouTube channel with 50,000 subs and make consistent videos, because that's the only other way to do it. You know, I'm past my prime in my Yu-Gi-Oh days. I'm not gonna lie. You know, but you know what? I still go to events, and I still do okay. You know, 6'2", 5'3", 2'6", it's all the same thing. You know, some days you just like build a shitty regional deck for me. I'm gonna go, you know, it was a good experience. I got the chance to meet some people that normally wouldn't come up to me and say hi to me. And that was kind of the objective, was to expose myself to a new audience. But, you know, we took an L that day, and it was pretty worth it. So, you know, if you guys want to get good at Yu-Gi-Oh, you know, I've made videos on this countless times. Playtest, 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 playtest. You know, win or lose. You know, you need to get better, and it sucks because so many players have jobs, so many players have lives, and they think these things are some magical, easy thing that they can acquire, and it's not something that can be done very easily. You know, they didn't build the Great Wall overnight. I'm sorry to break reality to you guys. The Great Wall was not built overnight. Spoiler alert, bitches. So, if you expect to go down the path of seeking out to be a sponsored Yu-Gi-Oh player, kudos to you, but you've got a very long journey ahead of you, my young grasshopper. I wish you the best of luck as you embark on your new destined life of wanting to be a professional Yu-Gi-Oh player, as we see here, very rare picture of that. And I wish you the best of luck. May God be with you. Godspeed, child. So guys, leave a comment down below. Tell me, you guys, tell me if the owner is really missing this. I would really like to return it to them. down below in the comments section. And guys, do Sereno. The ride never ends, guys. Make sure you enable those notifications to get the latest videos that are being posted on this channel. Make sure you guys check out VanCole40 for my Cardfight Vanguard channel. And join me and House of Champions on the Zodiac Duelist TV Twitch stream. We'll be interacting with our audiences. And please check out No Limit Gaming and LGTCG.com for the cheapest trading cards on the market. Thanks for watching, guys, and please have a good day.